Welcome to the Vantage HR Influencers Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Vantage Circle, the simple and AI-powered rewards and recognition platform for employee engagement.
All that we thought we understood about talent has changed in the recent years, especially during the pandemic. Every organization, as well as every individual, has undergone a reset and is looking at everything with fresh perspectives. What does this mean for the talent industry? It shows that the game has begun. The struggle for talent has begun. It has arrived on our doorstep, and we must be prepared. Hi everyone, I'm your host Sushmita, and to have a discussion about the ever-increasing talent war, I have with me today Prosenjit Mukherjee, Global Head of Human Resources at SCIKEY. Hi Prosenjit, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks Sushmita for inviting me in the podcast. So, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here today, Prosenjit. And Prosenjit, it would be nice to know about your background, your journey as an HR professional, and of course our audience would want to know about your work at SCIKEY.
Okay, so I'm a guy, I said that, I've been traveling, in every places in India. So I've become totally cosmopolitan guy. So I was born and brought up in Delhi, then moved to Calcutta, then to Bangalore, Mumbai, many places. I started working as a non-HR guy because I always say I'm an accidental HR. Okay, so when I started at a very early age. I had to start because my family was going through, trouble phases, and I had to step in to support the family. And my dad had cancer, so unfortunately we lost him in 2007, and I had to step in much before that to help the family financially. So I started with sales,
right,
and worked with many corporations like a bigger name Thomas Cook or so, right? So started with sales, then moved to marketing, and even started working as a customer support associate. That time, it was a very renowned BPO. Even today, as far as customer services are concerned, or a business process management or a business process outsourcing company is concerned, Aegis Limited was always a very famous name. So Aegis was acquiring a lot of company. I'm talking about 2004-05. I mean, the BPO boom, the techie boom, right?
Right.
Just before this 2008 fall. So 2008 was, that there is a huge, first level 2002, and then 2008 there was a huge level. A doldrum happened at a IT company level. So inflation shoots us, and the GDP growth come down. All that happened, right? There is a huge challenge that happened in the technology market. So 2004-05, I started working with the technology segment in customer service. Started at a very junior level, speaking to the customers and reacting to them, reaching out to them, speaking to them, solving their issues. So my fascination towards speaking to people, because I came from sales, I was very, in my personal life, I was very socially enabled guy. I was like a lot of programs, a lot of drama, a lot of school competition I used to participate. So my perspective was to speak and kind of try to share, the solutions. So I was like always a problem solving kind of an attitude. So that actually helped me to think through that, if I'm doing sales, if I'm doing customer service, why can't I just start with something where I can provide some solution, or I can provide some input. I can be a problem solving guy. So my fascinations towards HR started building up.
Okay.
So I went to XLRI. I've done my MDP program there, right? Kind of graduated from there. Then I started getting into recruiting part of it. Recruitment is sales. It is still today recruitment or talent acquisition is sales. There is no difference. You sell a product or you sell your brand is all the same. Right. That's what I still believe in this era. So I was fascinated the way, the people talking to each other and sharing the brand values, right? My perspective was a little different. People were talking about, the employer brand. I was trying to share, okay, what's in it for you, okay, from the employee's perspective. So I always wanted to become a people advocate, okay, and thankfully today I am what I always wanted to be. So I then started working as a recruiter. Then slowly and gradually, with effort, of course, you need to put a lot of hard work. I moved to, a managerial, senior managerial, a director level and beyond, right? So that's how I started my HR journey. I have handled mass scale of recruitment. I've worked with company size of 40,000 employee plus to a startup of 200. Okay, so I've tasted all the salt and water, right? So I have handled a site of 10,000 plus people in the same building with 50 people under me, where I have individually contributed to a role. Okay, so I've been, kind of transforming myself to multiple role, right? And while I was doing so, I realized that it is very important for professionals, especially in the human resources or a human capital, that you need to be agile, you need to be very flexible, right? In my early stage of career or in the mid-career time, I used to work with companies who are like billion-dollar organizations. They are 50, 60 years of companies who have, kind of established. Now they have done IPOs. Now they're listed company corporations. Processes are set, policies are set. I said that, okay, under me there are about close to 50 guys. There is huge, site, huge locations, multiple locations, handle multiple travel. The scope is very big, okay? Mm-hmm. But when it comes to building something, creating something, innovating something, the scope was less. Because when you work in a very large corporation, there is some of the other guy who always created it. During creation, the creator of those companies have already created the processes, and then you start building it. Right. Because every company, Sushmita, has 3 levels of people. One, who is the creator, who is the mind-blowing innovation guy, okay? And then there is a innovator. So someone who is, creator and innovator is the same line. Then someone who is operationally very well, who is a builder, who will building the culture, the values of the company. And then someone who is a sales guy. I think in my earlier companies, my role was mostly a builder, building the company. Still today, I'm doing the same. But when it comes to creating something, innovating something, selling something, right? Showing something is something which was mostly a business role that business guys kind of do. And I had this fascination that while I was doing in HR, I should put myself into a mode, where my role would not be just to share employees' values or, probably taking up employee value proposition to a next level, but also how I can enable business, how I can sit in the business level, how I can contribute from the business values. And I think this is a realization from last 5-6 years or a little more that it has come up, especially COVID has actually taught any HR guys, that how you can contribute to value your perspective or to show that you can do tremendous good job in businesses also. So you are not the facilitator anymore. You are not someone who would, qualitative guy who only share dialogues and share thoughts, but you actually support businesses in a real-time basis and give them support, understand revenue, give them that, kind of leverage that practice where you are becoming also business advocate and people advocate. So you balance it out. Because till today you've been hearing only people and you are putting in only one point in time. You don't hear the both of the sides. So the challenge of HR guys were always the same. They only heard one side and they take call of one side because they really do not have, understanding, or I would say the knowledge, or I would say not the knowledge, I would say the perspective of what actually business thinks. And that is why you would see in a company, a CFO is much closer to a CEO than a CHRO.
Right.
Reason being that the CHRO is not actually thinking on the business sense. He do not see the financial data. He do not look at the revenues. For him, it is secondary aspect. Why? Because the business runs on finances. Okay? And CHRO has become only people there. So this is a transformation. So from a very large corporation, settled company, to a building kind of a role, to creating, by individually contributing. I was a CHRO in a company where I used to network with the vice presidents and the managing directors and the CEOs of corporation. That was a market research firm, okay, Azure Knowledge Corporation. I was working just before SCIKEY. And I was individually contributing, right? I was working in UK time hours, US time hours, and it was fun because as I said, that I was a builder, then I create innovator. I was trying to think that, okay, I learned how to reach out to top players, top management resources, like people who are, the founders of the company, how to reach out to them to understand their perspective. So I was always very interested in talking to people, reaching out to them, learning things, learning global geography. So that helped me actually to go beyond India and see how the other world is working, not just US, UK, even Asia for that matter. SCIKEY, that helped me a lot because in SCIKEY, we are a flat company. Okay, so we do not have any obligation of you do this and you don't do this. Okay, we really empower our people that if you have thought, if you have a right mindset, go ahead and push forward your thoughts. Ultimately, you can even fail or you can succeed. But if you succeed, company will lift up. And I'll tell you, I'm very proud of sharing this. From last 3 years, average, our revenue rate is 196%. We become top 26th fastest company among top 58 in Deloitte study. We remain 100, ranked 100 top companies to work with by Economic Times, by Financial Times. In Asia, we became top 500 companies to work with. So there are multiple such rewards, recognition we receive on business values, on recommendation, and yet we are very particular that we are a people company. And this is one transformation in my life as an individual, as a HR leader, that this is possible. While you advocate for your people, you stand to create a culture which is a best place to work. This is absolutely possible to also think from a business sense and enable business rather than listening and doing or just probably sitting numb and don't have a value in what businesses are doing. So, and that is all the way, right? I mean, you become a critical judge of how business is performing and share your things, and that you can only do it if you want to critically judge the business, critically judge your department and investigate or, kind of share your insights. That you can only do once you become a business guy, a business HR sense guy, a guy who has a great business sense. So I think in my last company, I was, learning a lot about businesses.
Yeah. So Prosenjit, what has been your biggest challenge in the field of HR?
See, one biggest challenge, I think, in the organizations that I work, I think during pandemic, what we have faced, there are various challenges. I'll try to jot it down, make it short, right? One is the change mindset. So earlier, even there are in technology, because I'm from technology companies, right, industries. So people were working from home. It's not new.
Right.
But the entire work gets revolved. This time it's a pandemic. People had this fear, right? So we had to get into the level where we had to give them the mindset or give them that comfortability that this change is for good. Okay. Health is one important aspect. And what we had to do, we had to reach out to person, family to family. Because let's say if you're staying in 5 members family and you have your ailing mom or ailing dad, right? And if they get support from your company, you can see there is an employee delight. So we really had to go to that level to ensure that our employees, their family members getting enough support, right? During pandemic time. It was not easy. It was a great challenge. People are working all across. People are working remotely. Okay. So it was a big challenge for us to reach out to resources, reach out to them personally, talking to their family members, giving them benefits, ensuring they all get vaccinated. We being a company, we are one of the first company in Gujarat, IT company, okay, in Gujarat who have been vaccinated 100%. Now, we say 100% vaccinated in Gujarat location. That means that even a housekeeping staff or a security staff is vaccinated. And when I say 100% vaccinated, not just me, my entire family is vaccinated. So we become 100% family vaccination done in Gujarat. For all other states in India, Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, everyone and their family members were vaccinated. I think we are one of the few who have done this initiative in the year of 2021. I'm talking about May 21. So 1 year back.
1 year back, yeah.
Exactly 1 year back when the vaccination just started. The nomination of, less than 50 years or 45 years, right?
Yes.
So that has started. Immediately we go with the flow. We didn't wait for it, right? Along with that, we launched many health campaigns, policies, practices. So in COVID, what happened? One is health. I told you that health, how we cater to that health challenge.
Yes.
Another thing is that flexibility. Okay, so we had this challenge of people were in fear. Okay, how to come to office? Okay, if I come to office, then how will I be able to kind of comfortable working? Okay? Or if I would have a COVID, then people would die. Yeah. So what we have done, we did multiple pulse surveys. We did multiple connects with them. People who were comfortable coming to office, they are only coming to you. People who said no, we have given them permanent work from home. So we have created flexible work location policy.
Brilliant.
Okay, that says if you wish to work from home, even you are probably in Pune, okay, and office is in Pune. You are in Mumbai, office is in Mumbai. You're not comfortable. You are more flexible while you're working at home. You work. We really do not pressurize resources to come to office and work just because we feel that they are not productive. So we have put up a lot of productive tools. We became dynamic. Our appraisal mechanism were always yearly. We became dynamic appraisal. What is dynamic appraisal? You perform, you get remunerated. You perform, you get incentivizations, right? So we became that. You perform, you get promoted. Okay. So in a way, there are people who have been promoted at 8 months, 9 months of time because, they were delivering. We give them enough support on the flexibility, health, awareness, so that they have that confidence in the company, that company trusts them and company is transparent. So we work, Sushmita, we work in a TPEM model, Trust Business Excellence model.
Okay.
For us, our company, trust was the foremost factor. Okay. So we created it, but it was not easy. I think in my entire career, pandemic, and I'm sure other HR leaders or any leaders would agree, pandemic was the biggest challenge. And changing and evolving mindset of people are the biggest challenge out of this pandemic, taking them out. But I think we did a good job. Entire team focus how we have, touch upon nitty gritty of it, right?
Yeah.
We probably have to, we could have branded in a way Gala, but as a company, we are in faith. SCIKEY as a company, we believe whatever you do it to your people. You need not to probably dole drum or you need to probably shout it in the field and say that, okay, you have done it. We did a lot of things. I just shared you vaccinations, family take care, giving them out of coverage. We give jobs to people who are suffering from, challenges. We are a jobs network place. So we opened our platform, bring people on board, right? We went out and done CSR activities. We went to those workers, laborers who were suffering and they could not have food. So we supplied food. These are all things happen for employees only, because we created a family-oriented mindset. That as an organization, we are a one close-knit family. Okay, so we are like close to 500 people in India, and we created that. And same way, we created the same thing in Malaysia, Singapore, all other locations. Right? So we become we didn't create too much of, if you really ask me, we didn't create too much of professionalism where we would forget what our colleagues or friends are. We tried other approach. We tried catering to families. We tried supporting the family members, talking to parents, creating employee risk and management team, right? We created that, right? We reimagined the entire recruitment process. Recruitment was extremely slow, right? Where not just for us, even we saw that, a recruiter get an email and response management was a little less. We immediately created a system where people can be responded by the ATS, and then immediately recruiter would respond to them. We went completely digital. A lot of things were manually been working. We create a high-tech kind of culture where we went completely digital. And of course, as I said, that we broke that hierarchy. Like if you are a executive, you go to a team leader, your road ends there. So we broke that hierarchy mechanism. We created a flat structure. A flat structure means if you have good thought, if you want to share something, be it grievance, be it idea, you can reach out to CEO. So our CEOs, everyone, they know the name of the member who are working in the ground. Even they are approachable. Okay, so you can imagine kind of transparency we have created, that no one had that, neither an ego, neither an obligation, or neither a fear of reaching out to the top management. Same goes to top management is so flexible, so agile. They can reach out to anyone and talk to them. There is nothing hidden in a company. So that's how I think these are the challenges. I also said that what we have done to change the challenges. Yeah.
Yes, you guys did a great job, Prosenjit. In fact, we all did a great job during the COVID times. We are here, after the severe pandemic situation, standing still and strong with our team. And I think we all inspire each other to face challenges now, as you don't know when a crisis like COVID with that intensity, can hit us back.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. Okay, so quickly coming to the topic today, Prosenjit, the war for talent. It's a term that was coined in 1997, so it's definitely not a new thing. So, but in today's workplace, the war for talent is not just challenging, it's also downright hard and complex. So for that, we definitely need a new plan for the battle. Prosenjit, tell me, what do you think about this? Like, how would you describe the whole scenario of the great talent war? How it started and where it is going? Or do you think that it intensified with the pandemic and the Great Resignation that followed?
I think Great Resignation has started. It was not great then, 2020, 2021. I think when the market was seized and people were leaving jobs, companies were shutting down, right? The startup has a great fall. Okay, most of the startup. IT space, the impact in IT was immense. And then all of a sudden the boom happened. Startups got seed funding and all that, right? And definitely a great resignation. But what importantly, Susmita, I would like to highlight, right, is that also important to realize why people are leaving. Okay, I feel, right, and I would like to describe in that way that maybe 3 to 4 factors which plays, very important. One, definitely flexibility. Now today, earlier when we were young, or when we started our career 20, 25 years back, compensation was playing a major role, even 15 years, 10 years, even 5 years back, even today also. But it was not sole purpose of leaving the job. Okay. Even you probably hearing to many forums, you've been speaking to many HR leaders or many other leaders. They said, there are people who have 7, 8 offers in hand. There are, but they are also comparing, right? Because I have spoken to hundreds of people who have such offers. they are also comparing that, okay, if I have 7 offers, then out of this compensation, one is price point. Of course, it is very important. But what other benefits I am going to get? So, in a way, this has become a talent war where benefit war is also. So, a compound benefit, compensation and benefits. Benefits being not a secondary criteria. It was always compensation and benefits. Benefits comes as a secondary kind of criteria. Compensation is primary. I would look at a different way. I said benefits and compensation. Compensation is there, right? But what are the benefits that employees are giving? Like say flexibility. You will see that a person who is getting flexibility of working from home or flexibility of work from anywhere would choose the company who gives so rather than going to a 10 kilometer, 15 kilometer office.
Definitely.
Because they would try to see their transportation cost, they would try to see the risk factor, all that. Second, work flexibility, right? Work culture matters a lot. Let's say, whether that company is flat company, whether that company, has a lot of restrictions, has a very stringent shift culture, right? People would like to, if they're working from home, they would like to work like the way, they probably wanted to wake up in the morning, like say 6 a.m. in the morning. They wanted to have, their yoga and all that, daily exercises, wanted to go for jogging and have started their work. Then maybe they would end up in the afternoon. They would really like to take care of their family members a bit, spend some time, and maybe in the evening time, they finish up the work. They became productive. Okay. So in a way, there are companies who say, no, you sit in front of computer of this many 9 hours, you do your job. Now in an office environment, it is possible because you are coming out, you are coming to office and you're working. But if you really feel in work from home, there are no distractions, then you are fooling yourself. The distractions would happen, but you have to accept it and you have to see how you can create that occupancy level of that resource by positively engaging. So people also see how we are getting engaged. Then they see, okay, when we are getting engaged, what are the facilities we are getting? Does this company give health insurance? Mental health is an extremely important factor.
Very true.
So they see, okay, when I join this organization, what health benefits they are providing? Are they providing teleconsultation? Are they providing mental health? Are they providing, good coverage of Mediclaim? Maybe not just because most of the companies cover the person, the employee, the spouse, and the children. But are they covering family members like my mom and dad, which is the pain area? Okay, in Mediclaim, the highest ratio of claim, because of course people are old, so parents are getting covered, so that's an added benefit, right? And then what are the benefits, other benefits that employees are getting? Are they getting cap coverage? Are they getting some kind of reimbursement? Are they getting relaxable hours? Are they getting... Now, the challenge in the company, and the list goes on, okay? 4 hours of 4 weeks of pay, parent maternity coverage, crash facility, career gap, LGBT hiring, PWD hiring, okay, equality seminars, all that, and the list goes on. Okay. Now there are hundreds of such benefits. Now companies, the challenge in the companies is that not every company can give. Bigger companies, because I just attended a national level conference of economic times in Mumbai, that happened to be on 12th May, where I attended that. And I was talking to, top corporates, people who are like 30 to 100 to 100 to 200 kind of years that they have spent. So bigger corporation, fortune companies, speaking to the CHROs of those companies. And what my realizations are when we were talking that, even bigger corporations who have a lot of overheads, a lot of cost benefits, a lot of infra facilities, they still have challenge because their processes and policies are not, cannot be molded for everyone. Because if they mold for everyone or even flexible with a 1 lakh employee strength, then in that case, the entire organization shape would change. So they may not be flexible that much. Wherein if you really see startups, they have come up a long way because startups have opportunity they can mold it a bit. So startups are using a lot of techniques to ensure that they give best benefits. Okay.
And the better market research as well before starting.
Yeah, because see, what happened that when you are a startup and in the market, you have to probably compete with the Infosys of the world. Okay. Now you do not have that brand. Why people would come to you? They would only come to you when you give benefits to 2x or a 3x level compared to what other companies are giving, especially in the technology space. Right? For flexibility and work from anywhere model is the best, which I have kind of come up with. Then benefits which allow them to learn about the company, branded very well. Employer branding is extremely important factor, because you have to share what you are providing, or else you are probably providing 10 things, but people would not know your intent, and because they don't know your intent, they may not join you. Second is, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? Okay, so if you really apply in the Indian Army, so I was applying in my early years. So in NDA, National Defense Academy, so they have this slogan. They said, "What's in it for me?" Okay, so employee really see what's in it for me. So you have to show that, okay, rather than what's in it for us, we would like to show what's in it for you. What is there for you? What are we offering you? This is a shift in mindset, shift in change. You would see many corporates, many businessmen, many HR leaders, they really don't, promote that, okay, these are the offerings that we are providing you, and why should you join us? Because we are different. Rather than, okay, you give me what you are value adding. Okay, I'm paying you extra. Now, payment is one aspect. But payment compensation is a very materialistic term. If you pay 200% hike to a person, but you thrash them, make them work for, 19, 20 hours, right? And more, people would be suffocated if you leave. Okay, so both, it's a balance. I think companies need to realize, and that is the biggest area of opportunity. Okay, that treating your talent with respect, creating the culture, promoting, share what's in it for me attitude, right? Engage your resources, right? Giving them enough flexibility, let them decide. There are companies who are 100% remote, yet they are growing, yet they have become unicorn. How come? Then in that case, they would have fall flat, right? Okay, so this is the way really a market research, a well thought process has to be done rather than just looking at the process of the box.
Also, you would agree, I think, Prosenjit, that businesses are already spending a lot of money in hiring these days, but still hiring talent, remains the number one concern for CEOs worldwide. So would you like to highlight some of the factors in most companies that make hiring the best people a little more difficult?
Yes, I can. Of course, some of the best, what are the hiring challenges, which the best of the companies, or maybe hiring the best of the people that they are facing. I think one aspect is that, I said it in the beginning that I think startups can offer more, okay, than companies who are very process oriented. And when you are becoming a process oriented, your policies are bound. You can't tweak it actually. Okay. So that is a challenge that these companies are facing today to hire the best people. Because when it comes to best people, there are two types. One is people who are looking at only brand. People who are working remotely at a remote place, they are probably looking at flexibility. Okay. So that is one aspect which I can see, right? Policies and process needs to be flexible, okay, and create a competitive advantage. Let's say, for example, if you really want to hire resources, generally you would see, I'll tell you a very small example.
Sure.
You would see in a job description, okay, you look at every HR leader job description, HR manager's job description. You would see that it says 10 years of experience with an MBA from top tier company, top tier institute, 15 years of experience. Now, experience does matter for sure with MBA, right? Now, there are many successful HR leaders who are a non-MBA. They may have done another post-graduation course or a non-MBA course. There are people who have done BCom or MCom and went into a senior HR leaders in the corporation. But this is a mindset, isn't it? That we are sticking ourselves that, okay, MBA HR would flourish.
Yeah.
I've seen hundreds of MBA HR failed miserably. Top guys. I've seen IIM Ahmedabad MBA guy failed miserably. Started company, failed it. IIT guys, didn't they fail? They have failed. Many examples, right? We have in the industry, right? In 2015, there were a few friends who have started a very large corporation in the housing space. They were all IITs. They failed. So I'm saying that there are many examples. So we became too sticky to what is being poured by our forefathers, rather than thinking and believing the change is possible. We are not focusing on skills. We are still thinking 20 years back thing. While in corporate, all it matters is skills and not conventional education. That is one. Second, you would see we are very familiar with tier 1 cities like Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, known cities. Okay. We really don't go to remote places and hire. We say, okay, naam nahi suna hai. I don't know how the talent would be. Kahin par likha hai, is there anything written on any book of talent that, okay, Raipur mein acha talent nahi milega because Raipur mein koi jo bhi janam leta hai wo, who was born in Raipur, wo brain na leke janam leta hai. Right? Kahin par likha hai. So these are all the mindset. People, organizations do not go to rural areas to hire because they feel that, or I would not even say rural areas, I would say cosmopolitan areas or suburban areas, suburban cities which are smaller sections to hire. Now this is the success that startups are going. वो कहीं पर भी पहुंच जाते हैं. Okay, so they are going to those places and they are recruiting in a much lesser cost with some benefits. So their overheads are getting managed. And they're saying, okay, you work from anywhere. We don't bother. You sit in Goa or you sit in Goregaon. Apne ko kya hai?
Basically, work from anywhere.
You sit in anywhere.
Yeah.
You work from anywhere, right? And they are going to a small competitive, right? Is there anywhere written that, okay, you won't get good guys in Indore? I know personally I've got very good fellows in Indore, right? But why to go to Bangalore when I have good guys in Indore? My question is that we always get to bigger cities and bigger cities ke upar pressure bahut zyada hai. We are like putting a lot of focus, a lot of pressure in the bigger cities. When we are putting a lot of pressure on the bigger cities, the talent chunk, the spool of the bigger cities are getting shrinked. And more opportunity, more scope, giving more leverage to people who are in tier 1, giving them scope to choose between the offers, jump between the offers. Now you created that well. Now you don't want to dig it, or you don't want to. You're in fear that you will fail, right? Or you will fall in a deep well. You created it. So the corporations have created it. They could have gone to a smaller sections of the society. They could have gone to where the talent really are, right? Rather than, and this we have hundreds of examples. The Taj Hotel that survived a huge immense attack of 26/11 have recruited all their staffs from places where you even haven't heard of. Or there is TEDx speaker, there are research report from Harvard that shows they went into villages to hire those resources. They went into rural places to hire those resources. They were the most committed fellows who stood in the grievous situations of one can imagine. They look at their family, they look at their culture, they look at their ethnicity, they look at their belief, they look at their trust. It's a live example. Live research done by Harvard. They went into places where they never went to tier 1 cities, never went to big cities to hire people. They were all from smaller sections, Maharashtrians, Gujaratis coming, Kolkata, Bengalis coming from all smaller sections of the society. Look at the commitment. This is, we are talking on golden words, right? About their sacrifice. Who would forget 26/11? No one in India would forget that. Now, these are the best of the best talent. This is your live example.
Yeah, brilliant, Prosenjit. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience today, Prosenjit. And is there any final suggestion for the people listening to us regarding your ideas for attracting and retaining the best talent possible? You have already shared your views on the same, but if I tell you to give a gist of what we have spoken today.
Few points, of course, if I have to summarize, is that create experience, okay? Show what you want to offer. Do not butter it, right? Show what you really are. Share transparent information, right? If you are not transparent in the beginning, your employee would not stick to you. To share what you are today and share the truth. That is very important, okay? Second, because for that, create trust is extremely important. Second, brand your company pretty well. Whatever you are giving, right? Try to show the effort of bringing that to employees. So talent acquisition, Sushmita, is a very critical department. Because of hundreds of targets or, kind of pressure, the recruiter didn't, actually they didn't pitch it well. Like if there is an application, you respond immediately, right? But they keep it for 7 days, 10 days, 20 days. So experience goes for a toss, right? And the candidate was waiting that where should I get, when would I get a call? So the entire HR experience, right? The negativity has to be taken it very strongly. So create the experience well, try to be human, try to interact, be very, very, responsive. I think response management is the biggest challenge in today's world. I've seen many recruiters and I keep on telling them that in talent world, you have to be super fast in response. Okay. So that is second. And third is that, whatever you're doing, your employee value propositions, try to see, like I just said, right? Go to remote places, find out talent where other companies are not finding. Okay.
And here I want to mention one thing, Prosenjit. I was reading an article that actually showed that hiring from locations other than the cities where companies have offices, it has increased to about 35% from just about 5% in the pre-pandemic times. So I think that's a great information.
Yeah, of course, they had to, because see, this is a shift in mindset. Today, I just said that I am till today in LinkedIn, I see a lot of job descriptions which says MBA from top tier college. Now, do anyone have a case study that says that, okay, a top shot MBA from a top shot college has always been successful? I have case studies that says not so top shot MBAs from not so top shot college have created wonders. I have case studies of founders who are just probably a school pass. I have my chairman who could have only completed class 7, who is a doctorate, of course, a fellowship here, been honorary doctorate, because of his financial condition, and created a company which is a net value of $1.8 billion.
Right. Started
as an artisan, started as a labor who cut diamonds, to a chairman in a company that earned in thousands of crores. The Diamond Baron of India. Now these are examples. Okay, so look at these guys, the guys who have created India, take India to a different level, the founders, the business tycoons. Are they all Harvard graduate? Are they all top IITs?
We all know about that.
So this is very important. Education is a secondary aspect. Skill is the primary.
Right.
Skill and willingness to work. Passion and purpose comes from your skill. If you have skills, your passion will drive you to learn.
And the eagerness to learn.
You have to have, in our company, Sushmita, we believe in one mantra. I am nothing, but I can do anything. This is our chairman's mantra. That means I am egoless, right? I come from a background, I may come from anywhere. But today, I am nothing. I have to believe that I am here to learn. I am here to learn. I am egoless. Just because I come from a huge background, come with a BMW car, that doesn't mean that I know everything. I have to be humble. So then only I can learn. This is one aspect. Secondly, even I do not have anything, I have nothing to fear. I can earn everything when I have a passion and purpose to play. I think this is very important for individuals, for leaders, for business tycoons to know that, okay, education can always happen if passion and purposes are most important. I think I would like to close this by saying this, that believing in employees are extremely important, right? And change mindset is extremely important. Today, the world has changed a lot, 360-degree change. I mean, today, HR is not that HR which was there 5 years ago. They are not. And if you don't see, if you don't believe in that, if you have a doubt, then it's a problem.
Right. Thank you, Prosenjit, for joining me today, for all the information that you shared today. So finally, you would like to know how our listeners can reach out to you.
I am very consistent and write things on LinkedIn, so people can always reach out to me. They can just type Prosenjit Mukherjee.
You have a very good number of followers as well.
Yeah, they can follow as well. So LinkedIn.com, I am aware, I'm kind of available. So I'm not a very Instagram kind of a guy, but I have an Instagram ID also, so you can follow me there, or people can follow me there. But I am more in LinkedIn than Twitter or Instagram, but I have IDs there as well. So LinkedIn, one can type Prosenjit Mukherjee, and if they can't find, there are multiple Prosenjit Mukherjee, they can probably type Prosenjit Mukherjee, SCIKEY or plus SCIKEY, and they'll be able to see. So they can send connection requests, they can send follow-ups, whatever. They can message me. I respond to each and every messages in my inbox, whichever I receive.
Yeah. So thank you, Prosenjit, for bringing your expertise and experience down the table today. Thank you once again. And we hope to meet again soon. And please do take care of yourself.
Thank you, Sushmita. Thank you for a wonderful session creating. You take care as well. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Vantage HR Influencers Podcast. Please do subscribe to Vantage HR Influencers Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and our YouTube channel for new episodes.